Hello everyone, I am taking a little bit of a different tack on this video. I think this video may end up a little bit longer, but please bear with me. I have an ask by the end of the video. I wanted to start off by giving a bit of a background information. If you've subscribed to this channel, or if you've watched my videos before, gone to my other websites and other online projects, you see me as the mad sociologist, right? That's my online avatar. I've been doing that for many years as kind of a hobby. But before I was the mad sociologist and a wannabe online influencer, I was a teacher. I was a teacher for 30 years. I taught mostly at the high school level and at the college levels, and I taught in the social sciences, history, economics, sociology, philosophy, that kind of thing. But I've taught classes in just about every subject during my career. Last year, in January, I walked into my classroom every morning like I always do with my cup of coffee in my hand, opened the door, and discovered that all of my bookshelves were empty. Over 600 books had been removed from my classroom, and I was outraged. I later also learned that I was under investigation. Now, what was I under investigation for? Well, I was under investigation in the United States of America. I was under investigation for allowing my students to read books, specifically to allow students to read books that had not yet been vetted by the state, right? Wow. Of course, I teach in Florida, right? And it is illegal to do that in Florida. So that's what I was accused of, and that's what I was under investigation for. I was also under investigation for respecting my students' identities, which, again, in the state of Florida is illegal. So I thought at that moment, good time to get out of teaching as a profession, right? It's time to cut cords here and move on. So I did just that. But I became a teacher because I love teaching. And this is why in that time I've stepped up my online presence. I've started a TikTok channel, and Instagram, the whole 9 yards, Substack. I got everything. And it is to satisfy that teaching fiend that I have. That's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this because I want to get tons of views and stop monetizing and stuff like that. I'm not interested in that. If it happens, great. But it's to satisfy that teaching fiend of mine. Well, one of the casualties of this move was my classroom website. I had a classroom website. I had a classroom website before classroom websites were cool. I had an old GeoCities account way back in the early days with my big, I think it was 120 kilobytes of information that I could put up. So I've had a classroom website for a very long time, years and years and years. And over the span of time, it evolved, and I really liked it. And I would put supplemental information on the website and things like that for student interest and all that kind of stuff on the website. Well, after I left teaching, I no longer have a reason to have a classroom website, but I really like the website. So I had to figure out a new direction for this website. And this is where the ask is going to come in. Last couple of weeks, I learned from teachers in my district that they were specifically forbidden from teaching students their basic, fundamental constitutional and human rights. This was a response to President Musk and the Orange Dawn removing schools from a list of places that were considered safe spaces from federal investigations. So that means that our students now could be subject to ICE investigations and interrogations. And those teachers were also informed that in the event that ICE agent interrogating one of our students wants to interrogate that student without a parent present or an adult in the room, that the administrators are to comply with that request. So a lot of teachers took it upon themselves. They wanted to then teach their students what their basic rights were under those circumstances. Hopefully they never need to use it, but they might. It's a non-zero probability now, right? So they were forbidden from doing that. So I took it upon myself to create a script to help students help kids in the event that they are facing interrogation from a federal official to assert their rights to remain silent. And I posted it on the website. And this is where my new vision for my classroom website has come from. I've changed the name now. It is no longer Mr. Andosh's Classroom. It is Mr. A's Underground Classroom. And the goal for this classroom, here, I'll post it right up there if you want access to it. The goal of this classroom now is to post lessons that teachers all over the country are afraid to teach in their classrooms now. And it doesn't matter, left, right, center, it does not matter what those lessons are. If they are valid and academically solid classes, then they should be able to teach them in their subject areas. And in many places, especially in the free state of Florida, it is illegal for them to do that. So the Mr. A's Underground Classroom will be dedicated to providing those lessons to students that teachers all over the country are forbidden from teaching. So here's where the ask comes in. If you are a student, if you are a teacher, especially if you are a former teacher or a retired teacher who doesn't have to worry about the dictates of the state anymore, I want you to do the same. Students need to have access to this information. They need to have access to these lessons. They're important. And if you can't, if you don't have the savvy or whatever, if you have lessons that you want to teach that cannot be taught in a public school classroom anymore, forward them to me. Go on the website and go to the Teacher's Corner, and you can forward these lessons to me. And I will be happy to, post them. I'll post them anonymously if you want. If you're a teacher and you have lessons that you want to teach but you're afraid to or forbidden to, right? In the state of Florida, it is forbidden for you to have a lesson on the 1619 project. So maybe you have a great 1619 project lesson that you want to share. It is a well thought out, well balanced, valid, and reliable, academically sound lesson. Forward that to me. I will post it, and I will post it anonymously if you want, or I will give you full credit if you want. This project is not necessarily about me and getting views to the website. It is a non-monetized website. It is not there. I don't advertise. I don't take advertisements or anything like that. This is a completely personal and activist endeavor that I have, that I'm trying to create here. So I will be posting lessons on things that are forbidden in Florida. I'm not familiar with other states or across the country, maybe even other countries. I don't know. I will be posting stuff specific to the needs of students and teachers in Florida. But if you would like to participate, I'm reaching out to you. I'm asking you to participate. It's hard to do this stuff by myself, especially with other projects going on. So that's my ask to you. Please go to the website and please feel free to comment or to share with me any of the information. If you can even comment on this video and say, hey, could you do a lesson on whatever, the Tulsa Massacre? Yeah, I mean, it may take me a while, but I'll do it. I'll try it. Okay, so that's it. I know this one was a kind of a lengthy one. I appreciate it if you stuck to the end. I really, really appreciate that. I'm also going to do a little bit of a personal advertisement toward the end of this video for my novel, Stone Is Not Forever, which did come out. So thank you again, everyone.